It's a crazy and disorienting time in the United States. Donald Trump, with, I dare say, his minion or his sidekick, whatever you want to call him, Elon Musk, have come in and have just gone gangbusters with the U.S. government, and they're slashing jobs, and they're trying to be efficient, and they're just trying to shrink the government. And most people kind of go, I don't know. But I'll tell you something. Now that I've been with Danish girlfriend and she's given me more of a perspective of what it's like in Denmark, I really see how crazy this is. Now, Elon Musk and Donald Trump are treating the United States government like it's a business. And Musk is trying to do what he did to Twitter. He bought it, and then he slashed the workforce. He got rid of real estate, and he shrunk the company down. I don't know if it's making money, but that's what his goal is. And now he wants to do the same thing to the United States government and various other things. And I will tell you that having listened to Danish girlfriend and having her tell me about Denmark, the Danish people, and Danish culture, it even makes it more absurd because he wants to treat this as a business. Well, government and society is not a business. The government and our people are not out to maximize profits, where in fact, the purpose of a society and a government is to spend money to increase the benefit and the enjoyment of its people, which means you spend money so that someone can have more affordable health care. Denmark does that, and people don't have to worry about healthcare. Now they can say, oh, it's not as cutting edge, or you can't see a doctor as quickly. I can barely see a doctor in the United States. Do you know how hard it is? Because every one of these doctors is moving into more of a private care concierge service that won't take insurance. So they're pricing themselves out. So there's a big scramble to get a doctor. The same thing with schools. They're cutting funds for schools. And what's going to happen? Oh, so the government's going to save money, but we're going to have a less educated population going forward, which means, and particularly in this day and age of technology and intellectual thinking jobs, people need to be on top of things. They have to have knowledge and creativity and instincts. And so we are going to be left with people who cannot do the jobs that are going to be needed in the future. That's not what you want. You do not look at education as a profit. You don't. You want, it's an investment, and it's a very intangible investment going forward. I don't care. I'd like to spend money. So here's the thing. Some students may get more out of it, some might not. But in general, we're going to have a group of people in 20 years who are going to be prepared to think critically about what needs to get done. Also, they're going to give up on our infrastructure, the roads, the trains, telecommunications. It's all going to crater. Denmark takes care of its roads. Their trains are fantastic. The only place in the United States that has mass transit, public transportation, is New York City, and they're going to let it crumble because Donald Trump wants to get rid of congestion pricing for the cars that come in, which was the only way we were going to fund the rehabilitation of the New York subway system, which is a hub to get people in and out. If that doesn't work, then we're just going to be more isolated. New York City is going to have to become more like a rural Kansas farm town. And that just does not make sense. So I'm sitting here going, what is my country doing? What are they thinking? I hope someone can stop this, but it is darn painful. Now, I will say this, having gotten to know Danish girlfriend and the ways of Denmark, it's made it even more painful to see that most people, a country that is reasonable, puts their society first, not just trying to squeeze every last drop. And again, what's going to happen? That, okay, so we're going to make the government more profitable, more efficient. And Donald Trump says, oh, well, I'll send money back to the American public. Listen, buddy, I'm not a shareholder of this country. I'm a citizen. And I want this country to run well and be efficient. And I want it to run well as a society. I'm not going to go live in some Quonset hut and have all my food delivered, just watch things over the internet. I want to be part of a society. And I'm telling you, that is getting harder to do because we are not putting a premium on society. Hopefully, people will come to their senses, and hopefully it won't be too late that we will have destroyed what was built up since the Great Depression and FDR started putting some of these changes in. But until then, and I'm telling you something, I'm trying to find out how I can be of some service in this process, because governing is a process and it's not just a transactional deal. So, I don't know what to say, but thank you kindly.